Hey, cheers everyone. I hope everybody is doing good, staying indoor, being with the loved ones and all. So, Sunday, happy Sunday. Hope everybody is now woke up and equally excited like I am. So, today, when I was in thought and in line to plan this session, I thought that this is a particular thing that every individual should be practicing rather than I should say that every single time you should do, but more importantly, everybody should practice the art of forgiveness. Reason being, every individual, every single human being come across these situations where you get fail, where you get rejected, or I should say you encounter a situation where you don't know, where you are left with the choices that either you have to move on or you get stuck. So I thought of ki, like, I whenever I get fail, rather than I start using or doing the blame game, or should I call somebody else responsible for that situation, I should forgive. And I should be learning and practicing the art of forgiveness. Reason being, we are living in this society and we don't have the time to just live with our faults, or I should say, uh, like live in a situation where we keep on cursing or blaming others, right? And this is a situation that every single individual, as a like son or a daughter, as a child, as a student, as a professional, encounters. Your boss might blames you, your mother and father might deny you, you must have your fights with your loved ones, and every single time you encounter these situations. So team Cheers with Gaurav is equally happy to have Tanya Malik. She is founder of Streedhan Association for Women's Development. So Tanya is a content creator, social entrepreneur, and NLP-based trainer. She had a difficult childhood in a violent home. Most of her 20s were spent struggling, the overcoming the trauma, and in the battle of finding meaning. And I guess equally every individual in these early 20s must have been going through the same. Her spiritual pursuit and the NLP practices help her take the charge and turn the life around. Today, Tanya dedicates her time and effort to share her learning and experiencing through the storytelling and training workshop. She is focused to helping others becoming the architect of their own reality and whatnot. We are blessed. The entire team, Cheers with Gaurav, is blessed to have her to where she is gonna share her journey. She is gonna guide us that why it is important to forgive and move ahead. And more importantly, I should say, take everybody along on your journey. So, Tanya, thank you so much for accepting the request. Cheers. Yeah, you are here in the show. Yes.
Hi, Gaurav. Thank you
Yes.
so much for having me on the show. And,
Yes.
I'm very excited. Like you said, this is one of the most important things. It sometimes seems very difficult, but it is one of the most important things for us to learn how to forgive, forget,
Yes.
and move on in life. So,
Yes.
yeah, I'm super excited. And again, thank you for having me here.
My pleasure is completely ours that you accepted the invitation, and we know that you are super busy in creating the content and helping the entire society to get awake on a lot of topics. But the one of the thing
Very
which I
kind.
want, yes, all our viewers should be understanding about your organization, the association that you have started, the Streedhan Association for Women's Development. Can you please just let us know all of us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the association is called Streedhan Association of Women's Development. Now, I think to begin with, I'd like to talk about the name Streedhan, right? Technically, Streedhan means wealth of a woman. And the reason we chose this name is because, we believe that the biggest wealth one can have in life is knowledge. So, everything else can be taken away from you, but our knowledge, and I'm not just talking about education, right? Wisdom, knowledge cannot be taken away from one. Also, knowledge gives us power to be able to make choices, and to be able to make choices for ourselves, I think, is the biggest form of independence for anybody, be it man, woman. That's why we named the organization Streedhan. And as the name suggests, our main vision and our main mission is to be able to impart and share relevant knowledge, whether it is their legal rights, whether it is their health related information and rights to education, with women in not very financially strong strata of society. One of the projects that we very strongly work on is sustainable menstrual hygiene. We are working closely with Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, with Liverpool University and UNICEF. We are educating, informing, as well as distributing sustainable menstrual hygiene kits across the country. We have been lucky enough to have a lot of these organizations support us, helping us reach more than 3,000 women today, and we are hoping to hit a number of 1 lakh women by the end of this year. We
Awesome.
have lovely young volunteers, lovely young individuals working with us and supporting the mission. So, yeah, I mean, again, just to summarize it, the focus is on empowering women with information and knowledge.
Awesome. So, if anybody wants to join your mission, is there any like Google form or something that you distribute, or how we can be the part of it? Because I was going through it and I'm following it on the LinkedIn from past 1 month, where I just want to also tell you that I was listening to one of your talk, and immediately I become very curious that hey, I want to know more about Tanya. Who is she? What she is doing? And that was the event from Girl Up, where I was just listening to you, and I immediately connected to the thoughts that you said over there, that empowering women can help you to empower the entire society. And
Absolutely.
for Cheers with Gaurav, I have started this entire mission of spreading smiles, where people feel themselves inconfident in interaction with the professionals, become a bit shy to face the camera. And I thought of like, okay, now let's use this digital medium in this crisis to empower others. So that's why I felt you connected. So I just want to know if we want to be the part of this association, how we can, and all the viewers who are all are interested.
So, firstly, I'm glad that one of the talks could make you feel that you would want to connect. I'm very happy to know that. So, we have a website. It's www.streedhan.in, and you can go ahead and fill the contact form there. And somebody from the team will definitely get in touch, because we're constantly looking for people to join us. Other than that, you can just send us an email on contact@streedhan.in. Streedhan is
Okay.
spelled STREEDHAN.in.
Yes. So all the viewers, you can find the links I have already actually pasted in the video description. So go out and check that why it is important and how you can be the part of it. Okay. So and if you are not able to still find it, just let me know. I'll connect to Tanya to get all the important links, and I'll paste down in the video description later as well. So Tanya, moving ahead, do you think that art of forgiveness is something that can help individual to establish their mindset that yes, forgiving is not that huge thing where you can present your ego in front of it and not to bow down in front of someone and be start blaming others? Yeah, you have done something wrong and I don't want to forgive you. So is it really that much like what I should say tough to learn or to practice?
This is a question that I get asked very often. That is, learning how to forgive someone so difficult? I always
Yes.
say, anything in life is difficult or easy depending on how we choose to see it.
Yes.
Everything in life, literally everything we do, everything we experience, everything we respond to is a choice we make. We are constantly making choices. I think the moment we understand this one thing, that everything in life is a choice that we make, that means we are the ones who are in charge. The moment we realize that, the art of forgiveness or being able to forgive somebody becomes super easy. It's something that becomes like an extension of your being rather than something you're trying to do. Now, I want to just build on this a little bit more, because I always say this, that, a lot of times, and especially today, and especially with the youth today, all of us place a lot of importance on our identity.
Right.
Who I am, मैं कौन हूँ, Tanya Malik, let's say, so we place a lot of weightage on our identity. सबसे funny बात क्या है, that our identity is not who we really are.
Hmm.
Our identity is what we think others think about us. Pay attention
Right.
to this sentence, right? It's not what I think I am or who I think I am, because हम लोग उतना time लेते ही नहीं है अपने साथ एक relationship build करने के लिए. We don't
Right.
spend time to know who we are. We don't spend time to introspect, actually build a relationship with ourselves. So
Hmm.
what that whole identity that we have created is actually what we think that other people think about us. So for example, if I'm with you right now, I'm having this conversation, मेरे mind में मेरी एक identity है on the basis of जो मुझे लगता है गौरव अभी मेरे बारे में सोच रहा होगा.
Right.
ये जो गौरव मेरे बारे में सोच रहा होगा is so important that we have stopped actually building a relationship with ourselves. तो आपने एक word कहा ego, right? And I
Yes.
feel ego is probably the only thing we should be focusing on.
Yes.
One of the most, so I read a lot of spiritual gurus, and one of the spiritual reformists that I absolutely adore is Guru Nanak. And one of the Gurbanis, one of the Guru Nanak's verses specifically talks about ego. And I thought that it is, if we all just read that and we abide by that in life, ye sare problems hi khatam ho jayenge.
Okay.
Everything that we do is actually based on this importance that we place on our identity. ये आइडेंटिटी को सेव करने के लिए, आइडेंटिटी को लिव अप करने के लिए, वी हैव एक्चुअली बिल्ट अ रिलेशनशिप विद आवरसेल्व्स व्हिच इज बेस्ड ऑन फियर रादर देन लव. आई एम ऑलवेज अफ्रेड, अरे अब गौरव मेरे बारे में क्या सोचेगा, will I not be able to live up to what is expected out of me from my parents or from my society? ये अचीव कर रहा है, मैं क्या कर रही हूँ? So we are, the whole relationship that we've built with ourselves is built on fear. And the moment is built on fear, everything we are responding to in life, चाहे वो कोई situation हो, चाहे वो कोई relationship हो, चाहे वो किसी और का action हो, we are responding from a place of fear rather than a place of love. So we are trying to protect something rather than nurture it. तो मेरी identity है which is built on something so external. अब वो identity को protect करना, उसको lose करने का एक fear मेरे मन में है. So every time you say something, my immediate reaction to your action is on the basis of, Are, did you disrespect me? Did you hurt my ego? What did he mean by saying that? Because I'm so afraid of losing this identity because I haven't nurtured it, right? So my ego is the problem because I haven't built a relationship with myself. The moment we understand this, the moment we understand that Gaurav ने जो कहा वो मुझे affect नहीं कर सकता, उस पे मैं कैसे react कर रही हूँ वो मेरी choice है. The moment I realize that, I'll stop feeling bad, right? It sounds very easy. It takes a lot of work because I always say this, how other people act is their choice. How we react is ours. तो एक बहुत छोटा example, I like to give this example कि हम लोग सब WhatsApp पे chat करते हैं आजकल. तो WhatsApp पे एक emoticon है thumbs up वाला, right? Which is, I think everybody knows about that. मेरे लिए emoticon thumbs up I use when I'm irritated or when I'm angry, or when I'm trying to be cold. So if I'm chatting with somebody, if I want to just cut off the conversation, if I'm cold, मैं thumbs up भेज दूंगी. अब मैं किसी और के साथ chat कर रही हूँ, somebody I'm working with, and conversation के बीच में उन्होंने मुझे thumbs up भेजा. अब मेरा interpretation, मेरा understanding of thumbs up क्या है? Rudeness, right? तो जैसे thumbs up भेजा, I'll immediately get ticked off कि अच्छा, this person is being cold with me, this person is so rude. लेकिन उस इंसान के लिए वो thumbs up could just be okay, could be like a normal emoticon saying कि यार okay, मतलब Rania, I agree with you. So what I reacted to was that person's action and not that person's intention. उसका intention क्या था उस action के पीछे, उस पे मैंने pay attention ही नहीं किया. I didn't even bother understanding कि उस इंसान का intention क्या था. वो action आया, quickly वो action पे respond कर दिया.
Right.
So we are constantly reacting to actions. We are not bothered about understanding कि मेरे reaction का intention क्या है और उस इंसान के action का intention क्या था. So a lot of weightage is given on everything external. Identity भी external है, reactions और actions भी external है. All we need to do is just step back a little bit. एक छोटा सा एक step back करके start looking at what we perceive ourselves to be. कि फर्क पड़ता है गौरव मेरे बारे में क्या सोचता है? It doesn't matter. If I know who I am and if Gaurav thinks something else, will it make a difference? Will it change who I am?
Right.
It won't. तो अगर आपने कुछ कह भी दिया आज, अगर आपने let's say आपने कुछ कहा जो शायद normally मुझे बुरा लगता, मगर मुझे अगर पता है कि मैं वैसे नहीं हूँ, then why will it make a difference to me?
Right. Agree.
बहुत छोटी चीज है that we have to shift our relationship from being based on fear with ourselves to a relationship based on love with ourselves.
Agree. I guess मेरे काफी सारे thoughts revamp हो गए because from last few days I am talking quite lot on building your own brand, how you can establish. So yesterday I was doing one of the sessions and I just want to share with you that everybody asked me that to deliver a session on personal branding. And I said that don't be a brand, be a solution provider. And that people will automatically establish you as a brand. But you always need to focus on providing solutions to others' problem. Because you are not here to create your own identity. If you start focusing on solving somebody else's problem, automatically people will take care of building your own brand. And for
you'll
that,
automatically become a brand.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So automatically, like when you put down a video on YouTube, might it work or might it not? But उसके बारे में सोचने के लिए अगर आप वीडियो ही पुट नहीं कर रहे हो, so ultimately you are not doing what you are like having a vision to establish. So I guess
Absolutely.
thanks for that advice.
No,
So
absolutely.
I guess I can keep on going and going for the questions because I'm loving the interaction. But one of the major part that Team Cheers with Gaurav always believe to give opportunity to others so that we have more ideas to listen and get ourselves exposed to the brighter side of the society. So I have invited few of the students who are gonna getting a chance in another like 10-15 minutes, and then we'll jump onto the live questionnaires from the audience. So people feel free to drop your questions in the chat window and we'll try to ask. But first up is the live interaction part. So Upender, now you are live, and what are your thoughts and what you want to discuss in terms of art of forgiveness? Upender, you're live. Yeah.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, Upinder.
Thank you for being here with us and giving such a nice introduction and nice knowledge. We can always follow it, like you said that the emoticon one. So, uh, a situation is in my mind. Oh shit!
His laptop, I guess, got
I think some
crashed.
internet issue probably. Yeah.
That's the beautiful part of this
Yes.
lockdown. I guess technical issues तो सबसे ज़्यादा बेहतर हैं इस time में. So no
बिल्कुल
worries, Upender will.
टाइम पे होते हैं.
Yes. So Upender, don't worry, you will be there back again soon. Let's move on to our next Anushka. I hope you are here. Let's hear your thoughts, and we'll bring back Upender again. Anushka, you are here.
Yes. Hello, ma'am. First of all, I would
Hi.
like to thank you for being here with us and giving us this wonderful opportunity to talk to you. So, I would like
My
to
pleasure.
ask you some minor points or some major points about forgiveness. That's our topic for today.
Okay.
So, ma'am, we say that forgiveness is an art. Why do we address or call forgiveness as an art? And eventually, everyone is not able to forgive someone or forget the things that they've done with them. So, what are your views on forgiveness and why is it called as art? Why is it addressed as an art?
So first of all, thank you for that beautiful question. I think it's really nice that you've asked me why is it called art of forgiveness. I can share my interpretation on this. I think science is something that is more technical. There's a step-by-step process that you follow. Art is usually an expression of someone's own self. Art is always personal to a person, right? उसका कोई step by step guide नहीं होता कि पहले ये करो फिर ये करो और आपको result आ जाएगा. It's not a theorem or it's not something it's not an experiment that you're doing step by step process follow करके. So the reason it's called art of forgiveness is because it has to be a personal experience. It has to be your expression. If you decide कि मुझे forgive करना है, this is something I want to imbibe. Maybe Tanya says ऐसे करो, but आपके लिए शायद कोई और रास्ता is more better, is something that works better for you. So the reason it's called art of forgiveness is because it's an expression of self. It's very, very personal rather than being a guide or like a technical process that you follow. And coming to your second part of the question, where you, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you asked me if learning how to forgive somebody is easy to do, or I think I missed.
Ma'am, I was like, eventually everyone is not able to forgive anyone. So,
Right.
how do we take it as a perspective or like think that if someone does anything with us, we have to, like, if we accept it or not, we have to forgive in any chance and we have to move on. We can't carry that thing in our mind for every perspective or every time.
Everything. Right. Now, I think first thing, Anushka, I'd want to say कि किसी भी चीज को अगर हम have to rule बना लेना, हमारा mind works in such a way कि वो करने का मन नहीं करेगा. Right?
Yeah.
Anything that is given to us saying कि आपको ऐसे ही करना है, आपको उतने बजे ही उठना है, आपको ऐसे ही बैठना है, immediately we become rebels. Our mind works like that, right? तो हम अगर गौरव ने mention किया NLP is essentially neuro-linguistic programming, which basic उसका basis ये है कि हम अपने आप से कैसे बात करते हैं. वो words जो हम use करते हैं, how it affects our mindset and affects everything in our life, the kind of person we are, how we react to everything. One of the most important things that we learned is the moment we create rules for ourselves now, we don't end up following them. So again, going back there, a relationship that we build with ourselves has to be a relationship of love. तो एक माँ बच्चे के साथ कैसे होती है कि हाँ बता देगी कि तुम्हें ये करना चाहिए, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है कि नहीं किया तो बस खत्म, तुम्हें खाना ही नहीं मिलेगा 10 दिन तक.
Our mind opposes the restrictions.
Right. So if we tell ourselves, कि listen, Tanya, if you learn how to forgive, it will be good for you. So if I tell myself, and this is what I did with myself also, I struggled with forgiveness a lot. I struggled with forgiveness for many, many years because, I was angry at something that happened to me. बहुत आसान होता है जब कुछ होता है आपके साथ, स्पेशली एक बच्चे के साथ जब कुछ होता है तो बहुत आसान है to blame somebody else कि मैंने तो कुछ किया ही नहीं था ना, why did I deserve this? It was very easy for me to be angry and blame somebody else. What that did is it just made me unhappy. It made me an angry person. It made me an unhappy person. और हम लोग एक चीज रियलाइज नहीं करते कि हम अपनी जिंदगी में हर एक चीज में अपने खुद के बिलीव्स, अपने खुद के इमोशंस ही प्रोजेक्ट कर रहे होते हैं, राइट? जैसे मैंने वो इमोटिकॉन का एग्जांपल दिया था कि दूसरा इंसान क्या इंटेंट करता है वो फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता, क्योंकि हम अपने ही प्रोजेक्ट कर रहे हैं इमोशंस, अपने ही अंडरस्टैंडिंग प्रोजेक्ट कर रहे हैं. तो मेरे साथ शायद कभी एग्जैक्टली मेरे साथ अगर कोई चीज हुई थी, लेट्स से 10 साल पहले, मेरे माइंड में कहीं वो चीज रह गई. अब सेम एक्शन कोई और इंसान मेरे साथ करे लेकिन उनका मतलब बुरा नहीं है, लेकिन क्योंकि मेरे साथ वो एक्शन का मतलब बुरा था पहले, मैं इमीडिएटली रिएक्ट करूंगी उसको कि अरे ये तो इंसान गलत ही है, ये मुझे हर्ट ही कर रहा है. You know what I'm saying? And I did that. I projected that in my personal life a lot. So I think I talk about this quite openly. So I was, I as a child went through child abuse. My father was dealing with a lot of anger issues, and there was a lot of violence. He would beat my mom up and beat me up for small things. So it was not ek do thappad ki baat nahi hai. We went through a lot of child abuse. It was very easy. एक 2-3 साल का बच्चा ने क्या किया होगा ना ऐसा. So it was very easy for me to be angry at him. And I did. Almost for 10 years, I didn't have a good relationship with my father because I was very angry at him. Sometimes I was angry at my mother also, कि आपने छोड़ा क्यों नहीं आप, why were you living there and you put me through this and etc. It's very easy, right? What I realized later that this whole anger, this whole, point of saying कि आपकी गलती है, आपकी वजह से मेरे साथ ये हुआ, was making me an extremely unhappy person. मेरे बाकी सारे रिलेशनशिप्स में, चाहे वो फ्रेंडशिप्स हो या मेरे पर्सनल रिलेशनशिप्स हो, मैं वो ही प्रोजेक्ट कर रही थी, वही गुस्सा, वही एंगर कॉन्स्टेंटली प्रोजेक्ट कर रही थी. सो आई स्टॉप्ड एंड आई आस्क्ड माई सेल्फ, तान्या, विल यू एवर बी हैप्पी लाइक दिस? You'll never be able to build a good relationship in life. You will never be able to have true friendships in life. You will never be able to enjoy your work. Whatever I would achieve, I never was able to celebrate it because I was such an angry person. So then I decided, and not made a rule for myself, I decided if I learn how to forgive, I will be able to live a happier life. I didn't do it for my father, though I obviously love my father. We all love our parents, right? Irrespective of how, all parents are human beings, they all make mistakes, but we do love them. I didn't forgive him for him. I forgave him for myself. I forgave him because अगर मैं forgive नहीं करती, I would have been an unhappy person. तो ये ना कहते हुए कि I have to forgive somebody, we have to forgive and forgive, forget and move on. Let's say if we do it, we will be a happier person. तो एक रास्ता खोलते हैं, ना कि एक रूल बनाते हैं.
Yeah, I agree with you, ma'am, completely. Sometimes we need to do some things for make ourselves the better versions of ourselves.
Absolutely.
Okay, ma'am.
I think that's, for me, that's the meaning of life, right? We are just sort of living this life to learn and grow for ourselves. बाकी सब चीजें तो आती जाती रहेंगी लाइफ में.
Every person connected with us has a different life.
Absolutely.
We have to do that. So, ma'am, I have a situation in my mind that somewhere I have faced as well. Like a friend of mine, for example, a friend of mine has used me in the sense of resources, money, and like everything, like building friendship with my friend and then breaking with me and many things. So like, and after a long time, because a person who has bad habits at the end gets like disconnected with everyone. So at the end of the point, that person comes back to me that I'm sorry for this thing and you forgive me and we'll be good friends thereafter. And we somehow know that 1% out of 1,000 is changed. None changes their habits, or it is indirectly enacted within themselves. So how to react on this situation if it happens, or it has happened with me in past? So how do I react for it in present?
So one of the most important things to understand here is that you can forgive someone and still choose to not have them in your life. So forgiveness का मतलब हमेशा ये नहीं होता कि forgive करके let them do the same thing over and over again to you. You can stand up for yourself. You can choose to cut off from somebody and still forgive them. In a situation like this, it depends on a couple of things. नंबर वन थिंग व्हिच आई ऑलवेज टेल पीपल, जब आपके साथ कुछ होता है, स्पेशली जब एक किसी इंसान के साथ कोई इंटरेक्शन है, स्पेसिफिकली इन अ रिलेशनशिप, चाहे वो फ्रेंडशिप हो या पेरेंट्स हो या भाई बहन हो या पार्टनर हो, तो रिलेशनशिप में हमेशा एनालाइज द सिचुएशन फ्रॉम योर पर्सपेक्टिव, होल्डिंग योरसेल्फ रिस्पॉन्सिबल। ठीक है, सो आई से दिस, आप अपनी जिंदगी में या तो इफेक्ट हो सकते हो या तो अपनी जिंदगी के कॉज हो सकते हो, राइट? कॉज का मतलब कि जो भी चीज हो रही है, यार मुझे लोग ऐसा कर रहे हैं, मेरे पे ऐसा हो रहा है, आई एम द कॉज, आई एम द विक्टिम। तो उसकी गलती है, उसने ऐसा किया, उसने ऐसा किया। दूसरा नजरिया है दैट आई एम द इफेक्ट ऑफ माई लाइफ, everything that happens to me I am responsible for. So even if somebody does something bad to me, I will think मैंने ऐसा क्या किया that allowed that person to do this to me.
Maybe I trusted someone too much, or anything that I could have done better to not get into
To
the
not do
situation.
that, right? What is important from this, the reason I'm saying, and the reason I constantly say that are you the cause or are you the effect, is because किसी भी situation में अगर आप purely उसकी responsibility ले लें, आप कहें कि everything that happens in my life I am responsible, good, bad, ugly, I am responsible, you're not taking the blame for the situation, right? There's a difference between responsibility and blame. आप blame नहीं ले रहे हो कि यार तान्या तू ही गलत थी इसीलिए तेरे साथ ये हुआ, नहीं। Responsibility gives you the power to change the situation. Blame क्या करता है? आपको दबा देता है। Responsibility क्या करता है? आपको power देता है, because you can change it now.
Yeah,
Right? So
I agree.
understanding that I am the cause, I am responsible for everything. I'm not saying कि आप ये सोचो कि maybe I trusted somebody too much या मैंने ही कुछ गलत किया होगा, नहीं, आपने गलत कुछ नहीं किया, लेकिन आप इससे क्या सीख सकते हैं, आप उस पर फोकस करेंगे।
अब क्या
अगर
सही हो सकता है।
एग्जैक्टली, आप पीछे जाके देखिए कि रिलेशनशिप में कब हुआ था ऐसे, ये फ्रेंडशिप में ऐसा क्या मैंने किया, या ऐसे कौन सा स्टेज था जहाँ पे शायद आई कुड हैव अंडरस्टूड दैट ये पर्सन इज नॉट रियली माय फ्रेंड। यू कैन लर्न फ्रॉम इट by becoming responsible, and then once you analyze the situation, once you learn your lesson that you need to learn, because everything in life that happens is either to make us grow, or through the experience, or to make us grow by teaching us a lesson. That's as simple as that. हम लोग ग्रो ही कर रहे हैं, आगे ही बढ़ना है, तो या तो सीख के आगे बढ़े या खुशी खुशी से आगे बढ़े, वो हर एक्सपीरियंस पे डिपेंड करेगा। नाउ अगर आप एक बार समझ लें कि ओके व्हाट यू डिड और व्हाट यू कुड हैव डन डिफरेंटली, then you can make a choice, because you'll know how you feel. You can make a choice, do you want to give that person another chance, or do you not want to give that person another chance? Either way, you have to forgive the person. Forgive आपने कर दिया, forgive करने के बाद भी आप ये चूज कर सकते हैं कि आपको दूसरा चांस देना है या नहीं देना। अगर आप दूसरा चांस देंगे, now you know what to look out for. You have already learned your lesson. So if she does something similar, you can immediately just cut off right there. So you can give the person another chance, but you know what are the things you did which you want to do differently.
Focus on.
Yeah, and you focus on that. So giving a chance, not giving a chance is your choice. Even if you choose to give a chance, make sure you've learned from your previous experience, so you know what you need to do differently, or what are the points. Sometimes even having an open conversation with the person helps. Sometimes it doesn't, because that person is not ready to listen. So we have to make those decisions keeping our love for ourselves and our peace of mind in priority.
Yes, ma'am, I agree with you. With that, I would like to move on to the next question of mine. Like, as we know that soft skills, we generally, by soft skills means public speaking, confidence, and these things. So, social skills, etc. So, what is the thing that people misinterpret? What is the thing that people misinterpret about public speaking, or about the soft skills, or what are they that they name on soft skills but is exactly opposite or not exact thing?
Okay, so you spoke about public speaking. I think a lot of people unnecessarily have created public speaking as a big sort of, something that you need to learn how to do. All you need to learn how to do is just be comfortable in your skin and go and speak your mind. मुझे बहुत लोग इंस्टाग्राम पे स्पेसिफिकली मैसेज करते हैं दैट आई हैव एन इशू विद स्पीकिंग इन इंग्लिश, और आई नीड टू लर्न हाउ टू आर्टिकुलेट माई सेल्फ बेटर, सो कैन यू गिव मी सम गाइड सॉर्ट ऑफ गाइडलाइंस टू फॉलो। एंड आई ऑलवेज टेल देम कि आप कौन सी लैंग्वेज में बात कर रहे हो मैटर नहीं करता, आपकी लैंग्वेज परफेक्ट है या नहीं परफेक्ट है भी जेन्युइनली मैटर नहीं करता। वी हैव सम ब्रिलियंट स्पीकर्स हु काइंड ऑफ डोंट रियली टॉक वेरी वेल इन अ पर्टिकुलर लैंग्वेज, राइट? डोंट फोकस ऑन टेक्निकलिटीज. So soft skills में we focus a lot on technicality. कि अरे अंग्रेजी ठीक से सीखो, आप ऐसे खड़े रहो, आप ऐसे बात करो. I had once attended one of these public speaking sort of not classes but like a gathering, where they give each other pointers. And I was so surprised because like you said, वो soft skill के नाम पे आपको बस एक guidelines दे रहे हैं. They're restricting you कि आप ऐसे ऐसे खड़े रहना, ऐसे देखना, ऐसे बात करना, इतनी देर में इतना पॉज लेना, ज्यादा मत बोलना. These are not soft skills. You can't, again, talking to somebody or standing on the stage and talking to a public is an art form, is an expression of yourself. आप अपने लिए technical guidelines create कर दोगे तो you will not be able to perform. So
Yeah.
don't get soft skills like something you have to learn. All you need to know is क्या कहना चाह रहे हो, वो clear होना चाहिए. ठीक है, आपका
Well
message,
expressed.
and just be true to yourself. अगर मुझे
Okay.
किसी चीज के बारे में बात करनी है, as long as I genuinely believe it will come across correctly. So don't
Yes,
follow
ma'am, I agree.
any hard guidelines as such.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am, for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anushka, for bringing those parts up. And I guess everybody needs those sort of advices. And I guess that's the part. I always keep on saying this thing ki, when I listen to these students, they have a lot of things in their mind because I'm working in a very restricted space. Like in my professional life, I'm working as a person who helps their customers to solve their problems. And when it comes to Cheers with Gaurav, I have my fixed mindset. But to be a person who listen to others, I guess this empowers me more. So thank you so much, Anushka. And now we have next person is Bhargav. So he was also discussing few things with me that hey, I also want to know and be on the podcast and get rid of this fear that what it takes to be live. So let's hear from him what he thoughts. Hey Bhargav, you're live.
Hello, ma'am. First of all, thank you very much for being a part of this live.
Hi
I
Bhargav.
am Bhav.
Thank you so much for doing this with me.
Thank you very much. So I hope you are doing well in this pandemic, right?
Yes, we are very privileged that we are safe at our home with our family. So and I
Yeah.
hope the same for you. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you and your family both are safe.
Yes, thank you very much. We are doing well. So the first question I want to ask you is, I've seen a lot of videos and a lot of things where you have spoken a lot of where you have given a lot of motivation and also you spread a lot of positivity, right? So what or who is your motivation and why do you pursue it as your motivation?
Okay, when you're saying who is my motivation, you mean like a person, like who is my ideal sort of a thing?
A person or also anything like something which makes you motivated a lot.
Okay, so I'll talk about the reason first because that's actually what drives me the most. Now, there are two things. One, I believe that something that teaches us the most in life is our experiences, right? Experiences se zyada bada koi teacher nahi hota. And I've had a certain amount of experiences in life, whether it's personal or professional. And I reached a point where I thought it's my responsibility to share what my life has taught me with other people. So if they are in similar situations, if they can, if it can even help one person in any way, I think I would have made some difference. And there's also a little bit of a selfish reason behind this because I believe अगर हम कोई चीज हमने सीखी है और हम किसी और के साथ वो शेयर करते हैं, so हमारा जो सीख है, what we've learned becomes stronger. So by talking about it and by sharing, this what I have learned with people by creating content, it just helps me imbibe that in my life better. So that's my major reason. If I have to talk about people who motivate me or people who I idolize or who I love reading and listening to, they are like I had said earlier, a couple of spiritual gurus who I love reading and I love listening to. Guru Nanak being one of them, Buddha being second, and talking about living people, my mother is my biggest motivation and my biggest support.
Exactly. So, have you, me and Gaurav and other team members were were talking about getting overnight famous and all before the live started. So, what do you think is if the if, is that overnight success good or bad to the youth right now, which in this generation? lot of people, a lot of youth think that they need to get overnight success, but a lot of people do not succeed in it. What do you think about it?
So, great question again. Now, सबसे पहले let's talk about overnight success. There was, I think, about a couple of years ago in Bombay, there was this lovely hoarding, शायद Nike का hoarding था, and one of the famous football players. I'm not really into football, तो मेरे को player का नाम याद नहीं है, but उसका जो quote था, I just loved that quote. Okay, that quote said that people think I'm an overnight success. Nobody saw the 17 years of blood and sweat that went into becoming an overnight success. So there's nothing as overnight success. आप किसी ने let's assume social media पे ही किसी ने content release किया and suddenly people loved it and viral हो गया, but वो content create करने के पीछे कितने years का experience है, कितने time की मेहनत है, कितनी बार बना के delete किया होगा, कितनी बार maybe कितना सारा content post किया होगा जो viral नहीं हुआ और फिर जाके ये content viral हुआ. तो आपके लिए वो overnight success है, लेकिन उसके पीछे जितनी मेहनत लगी है वो आपको नहीं दिख रही. Right? So success, overnight success is like a iceberg. ऊपर का टिप तो दिख रहा है, लेकिन पानी के नीचे जो पूरा का पूरा आइसबर्ग है वो किसी को नहीं दिख रहा. That is the hard work that it takes. तो overnight success तो होता ही नहीं है. So अगर आपको लग रहा है कि मैंने आज कुछ किया और मैं कुछ भी किसी भी फील्ड में हो and कल I'll be successful in the morning, नहीं हुआ तो you feel disappointed. अरे यार कुछ हुआ ही नहीं. किसी के साथ भी नहीं होता. We only see people when they have become successful. We don't see the struggle that they have done. Right? Nawazuddin Siddiqui की अगर हम बात करें तो suddenly he became so famous. Then we read अच्छा यार 16 साल उसने इतना struggle किया था. हमें पता ही नहीं था ना वो struggle के बारे में. तो कोई overnight success नहीं होता. We need to just be persistent, dedicated, work hard for something you love doing. अपना काम enjoy करना चाहिए. Then आपको फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा कि कितना time लग रहा है success आने में.
Exactly. But as you said, overnight success doesn't lead to actual success. But there are things you can consider it as memes. For example, like Binod and like Shweta thing, and also there are a lot of memes. What do you think about it?
So I
Is
mean,
it a good
social media is a very funny place, right? It's
Exactly.
it's sort of created some sort of a instant gratification syndrome. पहले भी था, लेकिन social media से बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया है कि we are used to getting responses immediately. And मैं ये बोलती हूँ कि today we've become an instant gratification generation. कि इतना कुछ है हमारे पास, Amazon, Big Basket, Netflix, social media, कि हमें आदत है कि अभी ही result मिल जाएगा. खाना ऑर्डर किया, आधे घंटे में खाना आ जाएगा. सब्जी ऑर्डर की, कल सुबह तक सब्जी आ जाएगी मैक्सिमम, राइट? अभी मन किया मेरे चॉकलेट खाने का, अब भी चॉकलेट आ जाएगा. So we're just so used to getting results immediately that we are sort of addicted to instant gratification. Social media has magnified that. क्योंकि कितने likes आए, कितने follows आए, कितने वो आए. I'm telling you, I create content, I don't even look at कितने likes आए. मुझे किसी ने मैसेज किया था, अरे इस पोस्ट पे आपको 50 likes भी नहीं आए. तो ऐसा ठीक है यार, 50 लोगों ने तो देखा ना, 50 लोगों तक तो मैसेज पहुंचा, वो इम्पोर्टेंट है. तो जो ये इमीडिएट मीम्स हो जाते हैं ना कभी कभी, जैसे वो पार्टी वाला थिंग दैट हैज बिकम लाइक सच अ बिग मीम, अभी जो कुछ हुआ था ना कि ये हम है, ये जो एवरीबडी वाज डूइंग इट ऑन माय फैमिली ग्रुप आल्सो. सो what happens with that is it's the content, that piece of content जो लोगों को पसंद आया, लोगों ने replicate किया. It's actually not translated or transcended into success for that particular content creator. वो लड़की जिसने content डाला था उसके लाइफ में तो वो ट्रांसेंड नहीं हुआ ना. वो सिर्फ एक छोटा सा एक sort of time being के लिए there was interaction and fame for her. कल कोई और meme आ जाएगा, then that will become the time and that will become the happening thing. So these memes and these viral videos are very, very short-lived. Enjoy it if it happens to you.
Yes.
Have fun with it. Don't let it get on your head कि कल को जब वो निकल जाएगा उसका fame, then you'll be like, अरे ये क्या हो गया, दूसरा कोई meme हो ही नहीं रहा मेरा, दूसरा कोई viral हो ही नहीं रहा video. These are very short-lived things. Be very, very wary of instant gratification syndrome. Instant gratification syndrome ना हमारे, like it can ruin our lives. Be very, very wary. Hard work and dedication is required. कोई चीज viral हो गई तो enjoy करो, मगर continue doing hard work.
Lovely. So the other thing is, in this generation, there are a lot of youth, right? They think that if they got some failure or they lose something, they just keep on blaming the other person or the other thing through which they feel like they didn't get their success. What do you think? Is it something which should be totally concerned, or it should actually be blamed to the others, or something like that?
So I'll go back to what I told Anushka, that this is something I always tell the younger people when I work with them or when I talk to them, is that you have a choice to be the effect or the cause of your life. ठीक है, अगेन वही
Yes.
वाली बात आती है, आपके साथ जिंदगी में कुछ भी हो, अगर आप उस चीज की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेते हो, सोल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, राइट, यू नॉट टेकिंग द ब्लेम फॉर द सिचुएशन बट यू आर टेकिंग द पावर टू चेंज द सिचुएशन. तो लेट्स से अगर आपको कहीं से रिजेक्शन मिला या कहीं आपको फेलियर मिला, आप किसी और को ब्लेम कर सकते हो, लेकिन उससे क्या होगा? Are you going to grow?
Nothing.
Are you going to get successful tomorrow? It's not. It's not going to happen. You'll keep feeling bad कि अरे मैं तो कुछ कर ही नहीं सकती थी, उसी की गलती थी. उसके अलावा if I become, other than that, if I become responsible for the situation, I can then learn what I did and what I can do differently. I never say that I can learn what I did wrong, because wrong तो कुछ होता ही नहीं है. Wrong and right are very subjective. But we can learn what to do differently. So instead of blaming other people, if we become responsible for everything that happens in our life, and I mean everything, something somebody does to us, or failure or rejection, become responsible for it, you can learn and grow and then actually work or walk towards success.
Yeah. Exactly. Like I've said, I've seen a lot of videos, and your organization for women, right? You have an organization, right? So, to grow till this point of your life, you might have been faced lot of challenges, right? So, how could you overcome all those? Did you also have blamed something else if you had some failure, or you overcome it and you just you just said हाँ चलेगा ये चलेगा, and then you just came onto the top of what you can do.
More than blaming somebody, I initially in my early 20s had a fear of failure. तो मैंने क्या किया था, वो फियर ऑफ फेलियर इतना बड़ा हो गया था मेरे लिए कि आई डिडंट इवन ट्राई व्हाट आई वांटेड टू डू, बिकॉज़ आई वाज सो अफ्रेड ऑफ फेलिंग कि अगर मैं फेल होगी तो यार लोग क्या सोचेंगे, कि मेरी जो वो आइडेंटिटी की जो मैंने बात की थी वो तो शैटर ही हो जाएगी ना, बिकॉज आई वाज काइंड ऑफ पॉपुलर इन कॉलेज. तो मेरे को लगा अरे मैं तो कुछ ट्राई नहीं कर सकती जो फेलियर होगा, बिकॉज व्हाट विल हैपन टू दैट आइडेंटिटी, व्हाट विल पीपल थिंक. सो फॉर द लॉन्गेस्ट टाइम आई डिडंट इवन ट्राई समथिंग. So I used to write since I can remember, since I was a child, right? I didn't have the guts to take my script and put it out there because rejection hua to kya hoga? And finally, I had a beautiful support system. Honestly, I had a very lovely support system which encouraged me and gave me this courage that Tanya, fail hue to hue na. It doesn't make a difference. And I went out and I submitted my first script, and my first script got greenlit, matlab accept ho gayi immediately. Right? And it was a short film and it got accepted immediately. I kind of made it and I was like, yeah, okay, great. I'm successful. This is the best thing that can happen. एक confidence आ जाता है, right? दूसरा script लेके गई reject. तीसरा script लेके गई reject. Fourth script लेके गई reject. And I was like, what is happening? And I can't sit over there and blame somebody else. मन किया था मेरा, बहुत मन किया था. There was this big channel that I had taken my script to and I loved the script. आपने, as a writer, अगर आप लोग में से कोई भी writer है तो आपको पता है जब आप कोई चीज लिखते हो तो वो literally आपका heart and soul होता है उसमें. आपको तो उससे प्यार नहीं ना, आपका बच्चा है वो. I loved that script. मेरे को लगा दुनिया की बेस्ट स्क्रिप्ट है ये. And मैं वो चैनल पे लेके गई, चैनल लाइक हाँ ठीक है तान्या, this doesn't work for us. And मेरा बहुत मन किया था ब्लेम करने का उस इंसान को कि इसको कुछ नहीं आता. ये चैनल वाले लोग होते ही ऐसे, इनको क्रिएटिविटी नहीं आती, इनको समझ में नहीं आता कि मैंने इतना अच्छा लिखा है. मेरा मन किया, मैंने शायद किया भी होगा एक दिन के लिए. एंड नेक्स्ट डे आई गॉट अप एंड आई सेड व्हाट गुड इज दिस गोइंग टू डू फॉर मी. हो गया, रिजेक्ट हो गया, इसको साइड में रखो, कल को कभी मन करेगा तो वील रीवर्क ऑन इट, आगे बढ़ते हैं, कुछ और लिखते हैं. एंड दैट्स द ओनली वे दैट आई मूव्ड ऑन इन लाइफ कि लेट्स मूव ऑन, लेट्स लर्न, कि अगर उनको कुछ और चाहिए तो लेट्स राइट समथिंग एल्स. सो आई डिडंट टेक फेलियर टू हार्ट, but I took responsibility for it कि यार मैं इससे कुछ सीख के आगे बढ़ूं rather than यहीं पे अटक जाऊं.
Yes, exactly. I feel like this is what the thing the actual youth of this generation need to learn. Like a lot of people think that they cannot do anything if the attempt has failed. For example, we can see like Elon Musk, who's the co-founder of Tesla and also the founder of SpaceX, and also he have a lot of companies, right? He have been trying since a lot of time by sending a lot of rockets to the space, but his lot of attempts have failed. But now, as we can see, the ISS crew has been traveling in his rocket since 2 years, which is being operated by NASA. right? And also his SNL has been reused till 75 times by enough, which is really great thing. And a lot of youth need to learn about this thing, that failure is not the end of their career. They need to move on, and they need
Absolutely.
to have lot of things beyond that, right? So
Absolutely. In
this is
fact,
what.
I'm going to
Yeah,
say
yeah.
something that Ariana Huffington said. We all know who Ariana Huffington is, right? Huffington Post ki founder. So, and a brilliant philosopher also, I call her. So she said that people think failure is the opposite of success. But failure is actually a part, a very integral part of success. आप बिना failure के successful हो ही नहीं सकते. Because failure
Exactly.
is those stepping stones that you need to better and make your whatever you're working towards, your service, your product, more brilliant, right? आपने Elon Musk का example दिया, who right now is known as I think the most brilliant creators in the tech space.
Exactly.
एक और
Yes.
एग्जाम्पल मैं आपको देती हूँ, गेम ऑफ थ्रोन्स. सबने देखा ही होगा गेम ऑफ थ्रोन्स, सुना तो होगा
Yeah.
एटलीस्ट, राइट? गेम ऑफ
Yes.
थ्रोन्स बिकेम लाइक अ कल्ट ना, कितना ही ज्यादा फेमस हो गया कि गेम ऑफ थ्रोन्स नहीं देखा तो मतलब क्या था, गेम ऑफ थ्रोन्स नहीं देखा तुमने. गेम ऑफ थ्रोन्स के जो राइटर थे, I think for almost a decade, he had written the script as a film, and he kept going to people, and people thought he's crazy. उसको स्क्रिप्ट को रिजेक्ट नहीं करते थे, लोग बोलते थे तुम पागल हो, लाइक ऐसे कुछ ऐसा बन ही नहीं सकता, दिस इज लाइक रिडिक्युलस, इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल. He tried, he tried, he tried. He kept getting failure after rejection after failure. He stopped. He said, मैं किताब लिख देता हूँ. He wrote books. Those books have now gone to be cult series, right? इतना कि people are waiting for the next season to come, has become like, अगर Game of Thrones देखना is like a status symbol. So see, the
Yeah.
number of decades of failure he went through, if he would have stopped and said कि हाँ ठीक है, कोई फायदा नहीं है, मेरे को तो कुछ आता ही नहीं है, या इन लोगों को कुछ आता नहीं है, he would have been nobody today. He
Yeah.
used every
Exactly.
failure as a stepping stone towards success, and that's what we all need to do. Failure is a very important part. And going back there, हमने जो अपने साथ एक fear का relationship build किया है ना, that fear का relationship की वजह से we are so afraid of failure. Stop being afraid of
Exactly.
failure. Failure is a beautiful thing. Failure, rejection,
Yes.
they're beautiful things. They hurt. Yes, they do temporarily, but they can teach you so much. It's an opportunity. Failure is an opportunity. कि आप उससे
Exactly.
सीख के बहुत आगे बढ़ सकते हैं.
Yes. That's right. So it was lovely talking to you, ma'am. These are
Same.
all the questions which I have thought to ask you. And thank you. Thank you very much. Over to
Thank you
Gaurav,
so
sir.
much.
Thank you, Bhargav, for bringing that part up. Awesome. So I guess तान्या, मेरे ख्याल से मेरे बहुत सारे डाउट ऑलरेडी क्लियर कर दिए भार्गव और अनुष्का ने, but still let's talk about few live questions that I was going through the chat. And thank you so much. We have around 281 live audience, and while you were discussing, more than 300 people were joining us, and they are quite excited about the conversation that you are having. So one of our viewers want to know, Prashant has a question. Self-love is the main key here, right?
Yes, absolutely. And Prashant, my fiance's name is also Prashant. So beautiful name. So yes, self-love is the key. Like I said, our relationship with ourselves, unfortunately, because of all the social pressure and the cultural aspects that we're growing up in, has become built on fear. वो निकाल के we need to love ourselves, we need to accept ourselves. And self-love जब हम कहते हैं ना, तो हम कभी-कभी misunderstand कर देते हैं self-love को. Self-love is not ego. Self-love is not thinking I am always right. Self-love is
Right.
not thinking that I come first. Self-love is
Right.
not thinking that I'm better. Self-love is
Right.
knowing that this is who I am. I am a human being. I love myself and I accept myself exactly who I am. I'm learning, I'm growing, and I'm not better than anybody else, but I'm not lesser than anybody else. We're all equal. Right? So
Right.
if you genuinely start loving yourself, trust me, you'll start loving all of humanity.
Right.
That is self-love.
Yes. And I guess that was the something that everybody was cheering you throughout the session. Your thoughts really is motivating us. Means
Thank
I
you.
cannot even think of getting better this on Sunday. So
Thank
Harsh
you so
has a
much.
question. Harsh has a question saying your brain should run faster than your emotions. What are your views on this?
Okay, again, we all disconnect our bodies too much. कि अरे मेरा mind अलग है, मेरा heart अलग है, मेरा soul अलग है. We are one person. जैसे हमारे Vedas कहते हैं, right, that a human being is an amalgamation, is a combination of mind, body, soul.
Mhm.
किसी भी चीज के बिना आप हो ही नहीं. राइट?
Right.
तो हम अलग अलग नहीं है, मेरा ब्रेन अलग डिस्कनेक्टेड, मेरा हार्ट डिस्कनेक्टेड नहीं है, वो हमने कर दिया है. So no, your brain doesn't have to run faster than your emotion. What you need to do is be aware of where your emotions are coming from. Right? This is something that I practice in my life, and this is something that I preach a lot. Is mindful thinking, mindful living. अब mindful thinking का मतलब क्या होता है? That we know exactly where each reaction and emotion is coming from. तो जैसे आपने कहा ना कि brain should run faster than emotion, ये हमने कैसे सीखा है? क्योंकि माइंडफुल थिंकिंग में हम क्या कहते हैं? दैट डोंट रिएक्ट, एक्ट. मतलब अगर किसी ने कुछ किया, जैसे मैंने वो थम्स अप वाला एग्जांपल दिया था, किसी ने कुछ भेजा, इमीडिएट रिएक्शन मत करो. अंदर से मे बी आ रहा है गुस्सा, लेकिन आप एक सेकंड जस्ट डिटैच फ्रॉम योर रिएक्शन एंड थिंक, वेट अ सेकंड, ये तो मेरा इंटरप्रिटेशन है. लेट मी आस्क द पर्सन कि व्हाट डिड द पर्सन मीन, डिड द पर्सन फील बैड अबाउट समथिंग? एंड वो थोड़ा सा इंटरेक्शन करके मुझे मालूम पड़ जाएगा, अरे उस इंसान के लिए तो थम्स अप नॉर्मल था. So it's just about not reacting and acting. Film wala acting nahi, action wala acting. Right? So it's just mindful thinking. Actually connect kar lo apna mind, body and soul ko na, it will become very easy. Just being aware. And ये चीज याद रखना बहुत जरूरी है. ये मैं हमेशा कहती हूँ कि all that we are, you know, हम लोग हर चीज जो react करते हैं, जो भी चीज हम, you know, what we interpret comes from our past experiences. So stop living in memories. पास्ट एक्सपीरियंसेस को समझना, असेस करना इसलिए इतना इंपॉर्टेंट है, फॉरगिव करना इसलिए इतना इंपॉर्टेंट है, बिकॉज देन वी बिकम बेटर, राइट? वी आर नॉट कॉन्स्टेंटली रिएक्टिंग.
एब्सोल्युटली. एंड आई गेस ये बहुत लोग बोल तो देते हैं कि मेरा दिल जीत गया, मेरा दिमाग जीत गया इन पर्टिकुलर सिचुएशन. इट इज नथिंग बट इट बेस्ड ऑन आवर पास्ट एक्सपीरियंसेस. If I love someone and something good happened, I immediately say मेरा दिल जीत गया. Or if something where I was conscious that okay, this might not work, the idea might get flopped, I will immediately say, yeah, I was having that instinct in my mind. So yes, you brought down the point absolutely right. So one of the thing which I was about to ask you, that talking about the acting. So you have been a writer and a director. You have also done a brand endorsement with Royal Stag, I guess. You did a short film for them. You also did a short film with Satish Kaushik ji. So how was your experience working with such huge brands themselves? So
I think specifically Satish Kaushik ji, I should talk about, because he's a wonderful person. Yes. He's an amazing human being. He was almost like a father figure, like a mentor. He's very, very kind. So he treats me like almost like a daughter, I would say. So even before doing the short film, you know, I had sort of an ongoing relationship and interaction with him, where I would go and, you know, share my ideas, and he'll always guide the person. Very kind-hearted soul. So working with him was an absolute pleasure. I think thoda sa intimidating hota hai, because, you know, when you have somebody so senior on the set, and they are certain paraphernalias जो meet करने पड़ेंगे आपको, because young actors के साथ, you know, you can get away with a lot of stuff कि अरे आज तुम्हारे लिए vanity van नहीं है, ये नहीं है, ये comfort नहीं है. With a senior actor, especially doing a short film में इतने budgets नहीं होते, आप vanity van और कुछ नहीं दे सकते. So, you know, and he's a senior actor, he sort of worked on the best of the sets. So handling that taught me a lot of emotional intelligence also, you know, where I have to make sure he doesn't feel bad about something. At the same time, you know, our budgets are not getting stretched. But I've been luckier. Everybody I've worked with, they have been beautiful people. I mean, literally, even the Royal Stack short film that you talk about, I worked with Farina and Navraj. Navraj is a star in Punjab. Farina is, of course, you know, we've seen her, beautiful woman. And we actually we sort of started a friendship there. So we've become really good friends. So I've had a beautiful experience working with everybody I have. I've been lucky that way.
Right. And I want to take a personal advice. And I guess this is something that every young aspirant who is building their own story would be able to connect. Like taking an example, that if we want to approach someone who is well established, like take an example, a very senior guy is Satish Kaushik ji. Or else if we talk about a person who is not that huge experience, but yes, they are working in the industry, like Navraj Hans. Take an example, I am nobody to this world. If I have to approach certain individual, what should be the mindset that I should take to approach such huge identities? Means I just want to know, because if I see myself doing the collaboration and podcast, I feel very sometimes unrated myself, or in a doubt that should I drop that email or not, whether somebody is going to revert me. Like even I was so afraid when I was dropping you an email, but when you replied back, I was so jumping out that, hey, Tanya has reverted. Now it's my time that I should properly convey my message and all. So what should
Very,
be
very
that
kind.
go to market? Yes.
I think this is something that I had put out a reel yesterday about this, called behavioral confirmation. Very interesting, okay, in human psyche as well as NLP, and everything I learn must make spiritual perspective से ही देखती हूँ उसको, because ultimately we are all spiritual beings, right? So people behave with us according to what we perceive them as. बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है ये, ओके? जब हम किसी के बारे में कोई चीज सोचते हैं ना अपने माइंड में, उस इंसान
Yes.
का बिहेवियर उस सोच को मैच करने के लिए बदल जाता है. हमने बोला नहीं है उनको, ये होता है, राइट? सो फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ आई एम अप्रोचिंग लेट्स से XYZ, मैं मन में सोच रही हूँ इसको तो बहुत एटीट्यूड होगा, ये तो बहुत बड़ा सुपरस्टार है, इसको पक्का ईगो होगा. व्हेन आई रीच द पर्सन ना, वो मुझे मिलेगा ईगो के साथ. Because if you put out that kind of energy, because see, उसको दो तरीके से देख सकते हैं. Spiritually देखें तो हम उस kind of, we are putting out that kind of energy, we are all connected, the person can feed off of my energy, he's giving me that same energy back. उसको हम psychologically देखें तो because मैंने अपने मन में decide कर लिया कि इसको ego होगा, ये बहुत बड़ा star है, मेरे minor body language, मेरा minor behavior will automatically replicate my belief, and that person is responding to all of my minor projections that I'm giving, right? ये scientifically proven है that we listen and we speak more from body language than we do by words.
Yes.
ठीक है, कभी कभी होता है ना, कोई इंसान कुछ कह रहा है, आप कहते हो नहीं यार ये सच तो नहीं बोल रहा, बिकॉज उसकी बॉडी लैंग्वेज कनेक्टेड नहीं थी उसके वर्ड्स के साथ. we listen to that, हमें पता नहीं चलता, but we are actually feeding off of each other's body language. तो अगर हम कोई चीज मानते हैं उस इंसान के बारे में, ऑटोमेटिकली वो इंसान वैसा ही रिस्पॉन्ड करेगा, एंड जो हम चीज मानते हैं अपने बारे में, हमें वैसा ही रिस्पॉन्स मिलेगा. तो अगर मैं सोचूं कि यार मैंने तो कुछ अचीव ही नहीं किया है, मैंने तो कुछ किया ही नहीं है, मैं तो मतलब मुझे क्या आता है, मैं जाके इस इंसान से क्या बात करूं, एंड साथ में मैं ये सोचूं ये तो बहुत बड़ा स्टार है, इसको पक्का ईगो होगा, वहां पे वही होगा, मुझे दरवाजे से वापस भेज देंगे कि भाई इससे तो कुछ अचीव नहीं किया, मैं बहुत बड़ा स्टार हूँ, गेट लॉस्ट. मैं ये सोच के जाऊं कि नहीं, आई एम वेरी क्लियर कि मुझे चाहे मैंने पहले ये नहीं किया हो, लेकिन मैंने जो बनाया है, जो मेरी स्क्रिप्ट है या जो मैं कर रही हूँ, मुझे अच्छे से आता है. आई एम वेरी गुड विथ माई क्राफ्ट. जो मैं कर रही हूँ वो मुझे अच्छे से आता है. आई नो आई विल डू अ गुड जॉब. आई एम कॉन्फिडेंट इन माई सेल्फ. प्लस ऐसे ये भी तो एक इंसान ही है, इनकी भी तो फैमिली है, इनकी भी तो घर पे बेटी है, इनकी भी घर पे बीवी है. अल्टीमेटली उन्होंने सिर्फ अपने फील्ड में कोई चीज अचीव करी है, लेकिन है तो इंसान. एंड देन आई गो एंड टॉक टू हिम, वैसे ही रिस्पॉन्स आएगा, एक ह्यूमन टू ह्यूमन इंटरेक्शन होगा, रादर देन एक स्टार टू अ एस्पायरिंग डायरेक्टर, राइट? सो दो चीजें हैं, नॉट जस्ट हमारा खुद का कॉन्फिडेंस, बट ऑल्सो व्हाट वी आर परसीविंग अबाउट द अदर पर्सन, बिकॉज हमें वही रिस्पॉन्स मिलेगा. तो ये दो चीजें अगर हम बैलेंस कर ले, एंड टेक टाइम. ये नहीं कि ऊपर ऊपर से बोल दिया कि हाँ तान्या, हाँ यू आर द बेस्ट, यू आर द बेस्ट, वो तो सिर्फ एक इंसान है. नहीं, टेक टाइम टू एक्चुअली बिलीव इट एंड देन गो.
Right. Thank you. Means because I was quite nervous before I started this YouTube. So basically I was like a person who loves to research कि यार मैं करूँगा भी या नहीं करूँगा, क्योंकि if I started putting 1 or 2 video and then I left, तो सबकी तरह ही हो गया, लोग आके ताना मार ही देंगे कि like you were knowing ना कि तू नहीं कर पाएगा, क्यों बिना मतलब तूने खर्चा किया. But at the end of the day I realized कि यार if I'm not putting, what is the loss I'm having? I'll keep on cursing myself. Let's start practicing. And thanks to you and all the creators who loves to collaborate and they come out with the open heart. मतलब मेरा मन ही नहीं कर रहा कि मैं इस सेशन को बंद करूँ. I keep on listening to your thoughts because I'm getting so much positive vibes and ideas and open up my mind, and so as all our viewers, because I can see on Sunday afternoon, and if 200 plus people are watching us, definitely we are creating some big change in the society. Or even for that matter, number doesn't work for us, but at least we are giving some sort of advice to someone who is being advised. So yeah,
absolutely.
So, right. So taking the conversation ahead, Prashant again jumped in and he is having a question: how one can forgive someone who is actually not present in your life? Is it that meditation?
Beautiful question, Prashant, because this is something that we usually find very difficult, because we associate forgiveness with actually going and telling somebody, listen, I forgive you. And we associate forgiveness with somebody coming and apologizing. Forgiveness is not about somebody coming and saying sorry to us. Sorry की जरूरत नहीं पड़नी चाहिए forgiveness के लिए, क्योंकि मुझे ना कोई इंसान आके sorry बोल भी दे, forgive करना मेरा choice है ना.
Right.
तो वो choice, to make that choice, I don't need somebody else's apology. So to be able to forgive somebody who's not in your life currently is actually very easy. because that person is not there to constantly remind you कि उसने क्या किया था. और कभी-कभी क्या होता है, क्योंकि हम चाहते हैं किसी को forgive करना, लेकिन वो बार-बार वही चीज कर रहा है, तो यार बोलते हैं कि फायदा है इसको forgive करने का, पर वो इंसान है ही नहीं आपकी जिंदगी में, तो वो दोबारा कुछ कर ही नहीं सकता to hurt you again. It's actually easy because you only have to work with yourself. You have to remind yourself that I'm choosing to forgive this person because I want to be happier. ये अपने आप को बार-बार याद दिलाते रहो कि I'm choosing to forgive this person. It's my choice because I want to be a happier person. Right? And keep doing this over and over again. It takes time. Trust me, forgiveness takes a lot of time. Even today, I'm sitting over here and talking about forgiveness. It takes me a lot of time when I have to forgive somebody. I constantly do it. We can call it meditation. I personally do call it meditation, but everybody doesn't have to call it meditation. क्योंकि meditation सिर्फ एक जगह आंखें बंद करके ध्यान लगा के chanting करना या एकदम सोचना नहीं होता. Meditation is not just that. You can also do active meditation. A lot of times I go for a walk, 1 hour ka walk, and I'm actually meditating, right? Yes. Because apne mind mein I'm introspecting, I'm thinking, I'm maybe even, talking to the universe, or I'm analyzing things that have happened, or I'm trying to forgive people. Kabhi-kabhi neend mein we are meditating. कुछ thoughts आते हैं सोते हुए जो जागते हुए नहीं आते हमें. तो meditation हमेशा कोने में चुपचाप बैठ के नहीं होता. So yes, I do call forgiveness, or especially when it's not actively talking to somebody and forgiving them as meditation. You don't have to call it meditation. It's majorly a choice you need to make. And trust me, somebody who's not in your life, unko forgive karna bahut easy hai. Just keep telling yourself, reminding yourself why you're doing it. And yes. I say this, and I'm going to say this once more, because every time I talk about forgiveness, I think this is very important to say. Actually, forgiving somebody is when you can wish that person well. गुस्सा निकलना एक बात है, मन से forgive करना एक बात है. एक्चुअली उस इंसान के लिए जब आप विश वेल कर सकते हैं ना कि यार उसके अच्छा हो, गॉड ब्लेस द पर्सन, उसके साथ अच्छा ही हो, यू हैव फॉरगिवन दैट पर्सन.
राइट. व्हाट एन इंटरेस्टिंग थॉट. पीपल प्लीज डू फॉलो दिस एडवाइस. आई गेस ये बहुत काम करने वाली है. सो thank you so much, Prashant, for bringing that interesting part. About another question coming from Aman. He's saying, can someone be a perfect? Also, your definition of perfection.
My definition of perfection, I'll talk about first. My definition of perfection is being a human being. That means being flawed, being vulnerable, being ready to fail, ready to be rejected, and learn from our mistakes and grow. For me, that is perfection. I'm sorry about my little puppy. He's playing and barking. So yes. So for me, perfection is being a human being. We're all human beings, right? We are born here to experience life as a human being. भगवान तो कोई नहीं है, या कुछ और भी आप बोल लो, जो भी, We're all human beings. Human beings are meant to make mistakes. We are meant to learn from our mistakes and grow. मेरे लिए वो perfection है. So yes, मेरा definition of perfection, I think हम सब हो सकते हैं. We all can be perfect. लेकिन जो popular definition of perfection है कि somebody who just never makes a mistake, somebody who's like एकदम मतलब, I don't even know if it's, I don't even know where that definition came from. That for me doesn't exist.
Right.
So for that, for me, I think even people who are aiming for perfection know that वो नहीं हो सकता. So yes, let's redefine perfection. Let's say perfection is being a human being, is that हम गलती करें and गलती से सीखें. Fail हो, failure से सीख के आगे बढ़ के successful हो. That is very achievable. We all are perfect then.
Right. So towards jumping on to one of our last question coming from Vishal, that have a positive and optimistic approach towards the life to avoid overthinking. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, being positive, of course, is always the most positive thing because it will bring you happiness. Overthinking is very overrated and underrated, I say. दो चीजें हैं. अगर हम ओवरथिंक करें फ्रॉम एन इंट्रोस्पेक्टिव पर्सपेक्टिव कि मुझे एनालाइज करना है कि मैंने क्या किया था, मैं इससे क्या सीख सकती हूँ, मैं ऐसा क्या है जो डिफरेंटली कर सकती हूँ आगे, या मे बी इवन प्लानिंग फॉर द फ्यूचर, दैट काइंड ऑफ ओवरथिंकिंग इज गुड फॉर अस. बट ओवरथिंकिंग, उसने मेरे साथ ऐसा किया, उसने क्यों किया होगा ऐसा, उसने ऐसा क्यों बोला होगा, उसका क्या मतलब था, दैट इज वेस्टफुल थिंकिंग, राइट? तो अगेन स्टार्टिंग के पॉइंट पे आके एक्शन, किसी और के एक्शन के ऊपर ओवरथिंक करना इज ओनली गोना हर्ट अस. अपने खुद के रिएक्शन एंड अपने खुद के लाइफ, अपने खुद के रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी को लेके ओवरथिंक करना इज ओनली गोना हेल्प अस ग्रो.
राइट. Awesome.
I believe this. हम हर चीज ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट करना चाहते हैं. ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट कुछ नहीं होता. Everything is shades of grey. हर चीज can be good if it's done correctly.
Yes. And you rightly said, अपनी mistakes से learn करो, and I guess automatically you will start feeling positive. क्योंकि I am the one who always believe that failures always teaches you a lesson. Success is not going to teach you, because success is
Absolutely.
something that comes and you will be feel like, okay, now I'm happy with what I have thought of. But when a no
Right.
is served on your plate, and when you people feel that yes, I got fail, now it's an opportunity for you to roll up your sleeves and get something best out of you. So
Absolutely.
I hope having the clarity of your thoughts is something that everybody wish to. So I just want to say you, Tanya, that you know what was the thought that was running behind my head to learn the art of forgiveness. तो जब ये लॉकडाउन स्टार्ट हुआ ना 2020 में, आई वाज स्टार्टेड माई सेल्फ पिक्चराइजिंग इन टू द रामायण एंड महाभारत स्पेस. मैंने बहुत वॉच करना स्टार्ट किया. और आई गेस रामायण का ये इंसिडेंट सबको पता है कि जब लास्ट में राम रावण का वध कर देता है, स्टिल राम एडवाइस करता है विभीषण को कि इनका जो सत्कार होना चाहिए वो राजा की तरह ही होना चाहिए, बिकॉज ही हैपेंस टू बी द किंग ऑफ लंका. तो हमें फॉरगिव करना पड़ेगा. दो आई हैव कॉन्कर्ड द लंका, मैंने जीत लिया है, बट स्टिल ही शुड बी ग्रांटेड ऑल द रिस्पेक्ट दैट ही वाज
Yes.
हैविंग एज अ किंग, बिकॉज ही हैज सर्व फॉर अ नंबर ऑफ इयर्स. एंड आई गेस
Absolutely.
उस दिन से मैंने भी अपने आप पे ये चीज मतलब मानी है कि इफ somebody is doing bad, might be that situation was wrong or incorrect for him to be judged or something, might it hadn't worked for me, or if I got defeated, let it be yaar, कोई बात नहीं. So that was the whole idea, but I was not getting right thoughts. And I guess you have given us a lot of thoughts around the same. And I guess all the viewers must have got some clarity that why it is important to practice the art of forgiveness. So Bhargav and Anushka, I just want to bring you back for a few seconds more. And if you have anything that you want to say to Tanya back, uh, please share your views. Did you like this session? You enjoyed interacting with Tanya? So anything for Tanya? Yeah, quickly.
Ma'am, no doubt it was a wonderful session and you have more beautiful thoughts in your mind. And thank you for guiding us. It means a lot that we are here sitting in front of you and like a mentor like you is teaching us something. Thank you so much.
Thank you
And
so much.
first of all, thank you very much, ma'am, for coming to the live and interacting with all of us. It was very nice speaking to you, and I'm also very much inspired by you. Really,
Thank you so much. Thank you, Anushka. Thank you, Bhargav. Both of you are very kind. And it was an absolute pleasure talking to both of you.
Okay.
thank you very much.
Thank you, Bhargav, and thank you, Anushka, for joining us live. And like Tanya, I just want you to say few words, any piece of advice that you want to give to all our viewers and to us. Anything that you have in your head, and if you want to say a few words, please, over to you.
No, first off, Gaurav, I'd like to thank you for having me on your show. I had a wonderful experience talking to you and all the students as well. I think, on a parting note, all I would say is the most important thing is love yourselves. Know that we're all doing the best we can do with our lives, with our situations that we have, and remember that everybody around you is doing the best they can with the resources and the situations they have. So when we love ourselves, also extend that love in the form of empathy towards other people. Let's create a more empathetical and loving and accepting environment around us so we all can be happy.
Right. Right. So loving ourselves, I guess, will start loving more after your all advice. So people, please feel free to go and join. As I said initially, if you want to be the part of Streedhan Association, do reach out in the description comment, and you have all the links ready out there. Do follow Tanya, especially on Instagram, because I'm watching her videos. They are quite informative, and all the guidance she keep on putting down in few minutes video. I guess that is something that everybody should be listening to. So if you want to make the best out of yourself, do follow and connect with Tanya for her valuable advices that she is coming out. And I can't be like, I don't want to stop this session for sure, because I'm loving the interaction. But yes, we know that we have taken a lot of time of yours. And thank you so much, Tanya, for joining us. As I always say, is cheers uh, to all the life and love that we bring down to the people, and more importantly, the smile that you are trying to spread. So thank you so much for being here from the entire Cheers.
Thank you and cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For all the people out there, if you haven't liked, share, and subscribe to my channel, please feel free to do it. And if you find that, yes, the session was quite valuable for you, do share it with your loved ones, to the friends and the society, so that they can get benefit out of it. More importantly, what I want to say, reiterating the Tanya's word, love yourself. Don't establish yourself as a brand or somebody who is renowned. Try to be a solution provider, try to solve the problems of any individual, and eventually you will end up being a good, better version of yourself. Thank you so much. I'll see you in another exciting session. If you want to be on the podcast, let me know. Do connect with me on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you wish to, and I'll be more than happy to host you as one of the guests. Thank you so much. Stay safe, stay indoor, and more importantly, stay with your family and keep doing cheers. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.